folks, welcome to the Garden Canvas. It's fall, it's about a week before Thanksgiving, and I'm ready to do some bulb planting. All right, what you're seeing here is a bunch of bulbs that we got from Lidl recently. My wife actually just picked these up yesterday. We got a batch of these about a week ago as well, and they still had a bunch of bulbs left. These are all spring blooming bulbs. And Lidl is, if you don't have them in your area, they're a newer grocery chain in the United States. I'm not sure where in Europe they originate from, but the prices that we got on these were excellent. And the quality is not bad either. All right, so these were bulk bags of daffodils. So we have a Dutch Master daffodil, and this is a pack of 40, and we got that for $7.99. This is a mixed daffodil assortment. 45 bulbs, again, $7.99. These are Crocus. We've got grape hyacinth here as well. That's a pack of 40. The Crocus are 12 packs. All of these are ranging around $1.99 to $2.99. So excellent pricing. We have Purple Sensation Allium, Allium Mount Everest. And look at some of these fancy daffodils. I think these were $2.99 for an 8-pack. That is replete. We have Casada here. This one is Tahiti. And this is a mixture of, I guess that's Odum and Golden Ducat. But all fancy daffodils. So we're gonna be putting these in the ground. I've already started planting some of the ones we got from last week, and we're gonna go ahead and plant these and get them in their spaces. So now it's just important just to know how to plant the bulbs. This is a daffodil bulb, a little bit larger. This is the root area. That's pretty easy to distinguish with a daffodil. So you wanna plant root side down, pointy side up. That's where the new growth is going to emerge from the bulb in the spring. Now, there's different kinds of bulbs from different species. You have Crocus and Allium and things like that. So just to kind of give you an idea what they'll look like, some will be a little bit harder to tell than others. This is a Purple Sensation Allium. It looks just like a garlic. It's in the same family. This is the root side. That's pretty easy to distinguish, and you'll see that little pointed tip on the allium bulb. That's where the new growth will emerge. This is also another species of allium. Now this one's a little bit harder to tell because there's no real roots that are coming out. As you can see, it's pretty hard to tell from one end to the next, but this is a little bit more pointy side here. That's going to be really similar to the last allium that we looked at. So this is going to be root side down, pointy side up here. This is a very small allium. This is a drumstick allium, and that one's pretty easy to distinguish. The very pointy side is that's where the new vegetative growth will come out. This is Dutch iris. Again, you can see the old root there, and then the pointy side up. If you happen to plant it in the wrong way, in the hole, sideways, wrong side up, the bulb has a tendency to correct itself. So don't worry about that too much. But you know, if you're doing it, you might as well go ahead and orient it the correct way. But if you're planting a large amount in one hole and some end up turned sideways or upside down, don't worry about that. They'll fix themselves. So some of the tools that I'm going to use, there's a few different ways that you can put in fall bulbs depending on how many that you have. There's a way, if you just have a few to put in, you can use something like a soil knife or a trowel just by digging a hole or sticking it down on the ground, 5 to 6 inches, and putting the bulb in the ground. There's also bulb augers, which is something like this that you can run on the end of a 20-volt drill. And it basically drills a hole down in the ground, allows you to place the bulb at the proper depth, depending on the bulb that you're putting in the ground. And then I have this tool that I've had for about 6 years now. This is a Pro Plugger. This is an older model, one of the originals. Basically, it has a hollow tube here and allows you to stick this down in the ground with your foot and
dig a hole, and it pulls the plug of soil into the tube and loads it up until it gets to the top of the tube. Now this one's got a washer on the end of it to keep it from going more than 3 inches. So I'll just pop this off because most of my bulbs need to go down in the ground around 6 inches. Most of the daffodil and tulip bulbs, that is, as well as some of the allium bulbs that I have. Allium bulbs tend to be more expensive, but they do come up later in the spring after tulips and daffodils have done their thing. For us here, tulips are an annual because we don't get a long enough cold period for tulips to continue coming up year after year, so we plant them more as an annual. But all these other bulbs can be planted as a perennial in my zone 8A in North Carolina. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how we're going to plant these.
What are you waiting for? Go plant some bulbs.